Commanding Officer, Strike Fighter Squad 101, and Senior Chief Garcia are pleased to have you here at today's commissioning ceremony. Please rise for the official party and remain standing for the performance of our national anthem. Senior Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, arriving. Chief Warrant Officer 4, United States Navy, arriving. Commander, United States Navy, arriving. Strike Fighter Squadron 101, arriving. Helicopter, parade, recovery. Master Sergeant Albino, Miss Angelica Garcia will now perform our national anthem. Check on my parents with an envelope of invitation.
I invite you to join with me in prayer. Gracious God, we thank you for a milestone moment that has been many years, many sacrifices, and many demonstrations of excellence in the making. A moment where we pause to recognize one who has climbed to a new height of accomplishment and responsibility. We are grateful for those who assisted along the way, be they supervisors, colleagues, friends, or family, many of whom have come to be a part of this celebration this morning. As Senior Chief Petty Officer Garcia is draped with a new mantle of leadership, bless him with a renewed sense of purpose and calling, instill within him a fresh sense of confidence as he takes on an even larger role in carrying out the mission. May he ride even higher waves of grace as he serves as a role model for those who will follow in his footsteps. Even as we gather together for this great occasion, we give thanks that we are called to serve a noble purpose higher than ourselves, a purpose which continues to bind us and push us forward, despite whatever challenges we may confront. For this experience and your continued presence, we give thanks and ask these blessings in your awesome name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Harris. Sideways, both.
Sideways, left, right. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Oh.
Military guests, please leave out. Family, friends, shipmates, good morning. Welcome once again to the commissioning ceremony of Senior Chief Petty Officer Ricardo A. Garcia. On behalf of the commanding officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 101, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to CWO's family. Today's ceremony is a reflection of our naval heritage and many customs and traditions. Over time, this established ceremony is impressive by design. It strengthens our respect for dedicated service to our country, Navy, shipmates, and family. The origination of warrant officers stretches back over 200 years. When Congress created our Navy in 1775, it listed the warrant officers as sailing masters, purser, boatswain, gunner, carpenter, sailmaker, and midshipman. Time has involved warrant officers into the technical experts within their given field. They provide us, our Navy, with an instrumental form of leadership, an officer who has risen through the enlisted ranks, obtaining expertise and authority to direct the most difficult and demanding tasks. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Commander Frederick E. Tracilius, Commanding Officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 101.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to start off by saying what a spectacular venue here. Hopefully, you guys are as awestruck as I am. Every time I walk in this building, the depth of history that surrounds us, that kind of defines where we come from, and ultimately where we hope to go in the future. It's just really sobering to come in and see all the heritage that we have as a Navy and as a naval aviation community. So hopefully you're sharing in that sentiment as I am. Well, on behalf of the squadron, the men and women who make up the Grim Reapers, Strike Fighter Squadron 101, welcome to Senior Chief Garcia's commissioning ceremony. As you guys well know, we're here to celebrate a tremendous achievement by an individual who has, since his entry into service in 1991, has led the pack. His performance has been unmatched, and he's proven himself time and again to be the absolute best of the best as he's come through the ranks. And that's no small achievement. The Navy's fortunate in that it has currently some of the best talent that it's ever enjoyed in its history. Our retention is at an all-time high, and the quality of the folks that enter the Naval Service, officer and enlisted alike, are truly the best that our country has to offer. And that's what protects us when we navigate challenging times as a service. And to have quality individuals to be able to lead the way when the going is tough, there's no dollar value you can place on that. In this case in particular, one of these individuals is going to get recognized today for that performance and for his ability to lead. Above and beyond that are most of his peers. But before we anchor down on accomplishments, you gotta always remember that as individuals succeed in whatever endeavor they do, more often than not, you can pretty quickly identify that they have a support network right there behind them. For some of us, that's friends. For some of it's father or mom. Some of it's just our immediate family. And a lot of us, it's a compilation of all those things that I mentioned. In this particular case, it'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge seniors family that have joined us here. So welcome to you guys, and a little round of applause for those that have truly made Senior Garcia's success a possibility. And for you, Leoncia, and for your daughter, I know you guys are proud of her, and I am honored that I can share in celebrating this day with you. Mentorship is a huge deal as well as folks succeed through whatever career path that they choose. And often you get a chance to stay in touch with a mentor who's done something special with you over the years. And it's truly special sometimes when a mentor becomes a friend and you're able to forge a lifelong relationship. And I think that kind of defines the case that we have here today. Another guiding influence in Ricardo's life. That's who the man on stage represents. He holds an equally distinguished naval career and shares a service entry date, the same as Senior Garcia back in 1991. He received his commission as a naval officer back then in 91 after completing his undergraduate studies at MIT, and then went on to Stanford University for postgraduate education, where he received his master's. Then after his commissioning, he went to flight school and was designated a naval aviator and went on to fly the S-3 Viking. Some of the tours of service he had while he was flying the mighty Viking, VS-24 in Jacksonville, VS-41 as an instructor pilot there in San Diego. He got selected for Navy Test Pilot School and then served at VX-20 for a tour, testing the latest and greatest of weapons systems for naval aviation. He served a department head tour in VS-38 in San Diego, and then also went and sold snake oil with the Bureau of Naval Personnel, helping manage manpower for the Navy and doing a fantastic job. His performance over those many tours of duty resulted ultimately in his screening for operational VFA command. And back in 2007, he reported to the VFA 87 at Oceana, the Golden Warriors. In 2007 to 2008 timeframe, when he was the executive officer of that Strike Fighter Squadron, marked the first time where he and then ATC Garcia first met. Through that period where they overlapped in the Golden Warriors, our guest speaker's impressive leadership, unyielding dedication to the squadron's mission, and most importantly, probably, his genuine concern for the personal and professional well-being for all the sailors, the men and women that made up VFA 87, left an indelible impression on Senior Garcia and his family. The mutual respect that these two individuals forged together carries through to this day. Having earned his doctorate degree from the Naval Postgraduate School recently, and now as a teacher up at in Annapolis, Maryland, at the Naval Academy. Our guest speaker joins us from up northeast. It's with great enthusiasm that I invite you to join me in welcoming Commander Dick McGrath.
Thank you very much, Skipper, for that introduction and those words. And I want to let you know that it is a personal honor and professional privilege to be here today and to be asked to participate in this milestone, not just for Senior Chief Garcia and his family, but for our Navy, as we welcome an outstanding sailor into the ranks of our officer corps as a new Chief Warrant Officer of the United States Navy. And I couldn't be more pleased actually to see a couple other folks actually serving Golden Warriors with us when we were both at VFA 7. Lieutenant Commander Shmuki, who snuck in over here, is one of our pilots at the squadron, and didn't even know you owned a pair of khakis, so that's nice to actually put those on today. And Chief Sid back there, who was a 18-1 when I served him back in 87, and now is wearing the khakis of the Chief, so another outstanding sailor. It's great to see you guys here today with us. And like the skipper said, I can think of no better place to have this ceremony than in the national treasure that is this Naval Aviation Museum. We're all very fortunate to be able to be here and take all of this in. And for me, this never gets old after 22 years coming back here and seeing what they're doing with this museum. It is completely phenomenal. So, we talked about, we mentioned that Rick and I served together in VF 87. We both got to that squadron within about the same month in 2007. And he came there as a fairly new Chief Petty Officer, recently putting that on, and also having, I think, almost no O-level squadron experience. So he'd been in the Navy for a long time, working as an AT, but this was really his first time coming to a squadron as a Chief. And like was mentioned, when I was coming to that squadron as the XO, having actually never flown the F-18 in a squadron before, so it actually was a challenge for all of us, not unsimilar to what even VFA 101 is doing right now, just forging new ground with phenomenal new aircraft and kind of leading the way, learning as they go for the Navy. So we often refer to those as opportunities to excel in the Navy. When we're thrown into a situation where we've got to use our resources and figure things out. And that is exactly what Senior Chief Garcia did for us in the Golden Warriors. He held two particular jobs that I think are two of the most important that a chief will actually hold in a naval aviation tailhook squadron. One of those was as our line division leading Chief Petty Officer. And for those of you who are familiar with that, the line division, that's where all of our plane captains are. That is some of our most junior sailors from across all different ratings who are really performing one of the most important jobs in a squadron, taking care of those planes, getting them ready for launch, getting them turned around. And when you are that leading Chief Petty Officer, that job is simply pure deck plate leadership. That is what it is. I wouldn't know how else to describe it. And he was the perfect guy to get in there and lead that line division, because I've always thought you cannot have a great squadron without a great line division. We certainly did have that under his leadership. And he wore that brown shirt with pride, and he was out there leading those junior sailors. And I couldn't be more pleased with what he did for us in that squadron. And the second job that I think is crucial in this squadron is our flight deck coordinator. For those of you guys that have done it, for those of you guys that have been on an aircraft carrier, the flight deck coordinator is the guy up there on the deck of the aircraft carrier during flight ops for your squadron, making sure everything happens, literally. Day or night, rain or shine, he's on the radio, being pulled in many different directions between the flight deck, what they want to do, our maintenance control, what they want to do, dealing with naval aviators who are not the easiest bunch of guys to deal with. I will tell you that right now, is what they want and they need, and that's the most important thing in the world at that time. But he handled it all. He did it with skill and grace and leadership on what is still literally one of the most dangerous places to work in the world on the deck of the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier during flight ops. And the fact that we as professionals make it look routine and not really easy, but we do it day in and day out so well, is just testament to the professionalism of the people that serve on those great ships. And that's exactly what Senior Chief Garcia did for us when he was out there. And the last thing that I really want to mention when you have a job like that is not just your ability to be calm under pressure, to be thinking ahead, to be juggling a lot of things, but really the most important thing is I think you've got to have a positive attitude. Okay? You've got to have a positive attitude dealing with all of that stuff that's coming down from you. And that is exactly what this guy did right here. I go up to my jet, no matter what was going on, things going good, things going bad, and a good smile on his face. AXO skipper, how you doing, sir? Let's go do some flying today. So for that, I'm gratefully appreciative and really stand in awe of the great work you did for me when I was at the Golden Warriors. Back when I was CO of the squadron in 87, something that I would continually emphasize to all of my chiefs, my warrant officers, my LPOs, and some of my senior first class petty officers, is that I strongly feel that some of our best leaders in the Navy are sitting in our enlisted ranks, okay? Whether they're our junior sailors, our chief petty officers, and I think it is incumbent upon all of us as leaders, as mentors, to go out, find those sailors, and encourage them to reach their full potential, okay? Whether it is something like a warrant officer program or an LDO program, or perhaps some that go into a ROTC program or even go to the Naval Academy, I feel it's extremely important that we are active and we seek those folks out and we help them with the process. It can be daunting, okay? And I told guys like Chief Garcia at the time, and it looks like he was really listening to what I was saying because he is a great example of exactly what I was saying with that, okay? His talent, his expertise, he recognized that, and he applied to this program, which, as the skipper mentioned, is very competitive, okay? It's not easy to get into these programs because there are a lot of good folks going for them, but I would tell you, if you want to do this, if it doesn't work the first time, reapply, and then reapply, and keep doing it as long as you are eligible. Okay? Because it took me 3 tries to get into test pilot school. All right? And you guys heard my background, my balls. It just happened to be that I had to keep trying, and getting to do something that I really want to do in the Navy. And it worked out very well for me. So I would tell all of you out there, if that person is you, I encourage you to actually go out there and do it. If you're the leader that knows who that young man or woman is, that you take the initiative, you mentor them, and you get them up to this stage, just like we see Senior Chief Garcia here today. One thing I would say, if someone were asking me to describe Rick Garcia, what would I say? Well, once I got past that outsized personality, I would definitely describe him as a family man. He has great pride in his family, is very proud of all of you, and you guys are really the folks that have set him up for his success and really stand behind him. His daughter, Angelica, is beautiful on the violin. I met you when you were just a young girl and your dad would bring you around the squadron and kind of introduce you to everybody. And I can see that you've grown up into a fine young woman, and I can tell you your father is immensely proud of you. You know, like I talk to him about my boys, he tells me about you all the time. And congratulations and good luck for the next couple of years when you're off to college and want to do great things yourself. And I will tell you, you cannot have this successful Navy career with all the challenges without someone behind you, that spouse who is encouraging you and who is there for you. You don't see it? That is you. You know, he may be sitting up here, but this is just as much your day as it is his. So I want to thank you. And, you know, you guys have more adventure, more challenge in front of you. Off to San Diego and off to Japan. You know, I envy you guys. You guys are going to have a great time. So congratulations and thank you very much. And Rick, I know your mom is en route still. So she hasn't been able to quite make it, but I want you to pass on because what I would have told her is thank you for raising the son that she did. To raise someone that will give this much service, this much dedication to our Navy and to our great nation is a real testament to her. And finally, I will say, I know your dad can't be here with us, but I'm confident he's here in spirit, and he would be and is extremely proud of this day, and extremely proud of the man that you turned out to be. So, congratulations. All right, and finally, I will say now that as you take the reins of the warrant officer, you are going to be the man with the expertise in the boardroom. We talked about the technical expertise. I was just speaking to my midshipmen, my students at the Naval Academy the other day, explaining what I was going to be doing down here. And these young men and women, they're going to be in the fleet as JOs in just a few years. They are going to be eager, they're going to be well educated and well trained, but they're not going to have any experience. Much like I was 22 years ago, and the guy who's going to have the experience is this guy right here. And I told them that their warrant officers, their LDOs, those are great resources. Those are the guys you can go to. Those are the guys along the chiefs that you can go to and learn from. And the smart ones will realize that and will continue to do that. So, Senior, as you leave the ranks of the chief's mess, your mandate to train the junior officers does not end. In fact, it becomes even more crucial. And I know that you will rise to that challenge and be just the leader and mentor to your fellow officers in the wardroom that you have been to all the junior officers you've served with and all these other young sailors. So with that, I will wrap it up. I could tell you a lot more about this guy and a lot more stories, but we have a lot to get to in this ceremony. And we'll go over to the club afterwards and decide probably stories more appropriate for the club anyways, so we'll get to talk about those then. But I will leave you with an adage, that although all of us enjoy our well-deserved sea duty, I would say sailors belong on ships and ships belong at sea. So what is VFA's 101's loss today is by far the USS Ronald Reagan's gain. I know you will do a phenomenal job out there for that ship, and I will take some liberty now and jump ahead in the program a little bit to say congratulations, Chief Warrant Officer Garcia. Welcome to the wardroom. I wish you, my friend, and your family every success and happiness as you begin this next exciting chapter in your career and in your lives. Congratulations.
Commander Garcia will now present Senior Chief Garcia with an inventory award. Department of the Navy. Business is certified that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Gold Star, in lieu of second award to Senior Chief Aviation Electronics Technician, Aviation Warfare, Surface Warfare, Ricardo A. Garcia. United States Navy. 4. Meritorious service as Maintenance Control Senior Chief Petty Officer at Strike Fighter Squadron 101 from March 2012 to 2014. His steadfast leadership led to the development and the implementation of 42 naval aviation programs, standard operating procedures, and sustained operating instructions that directly resulted in F-35 Charlie interim safer flight certification. Senior Chief Garcia reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Navy. Given this day, January 2014, signed, Captain Keithley, United States Navy, Commander Strike Fighter Wing, U.S. Pacific Fleet. CWO2 Linzer will now discharge Senior Chief Garcia from the enlisted ranks. Honorably discharged from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. This is a certified that Aviation Electronics Technician, Senior Chief Aviation Warfare, Surface Warfare, Ricardo A. Garcia, was honorably discharged from the United States Navy on the 31st day of January 2014. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of honest and faithful service. Signed, John H. Lindsay, CWO2, United States Navy. Mr. Garcia's cover and jacket will now be removed by Match Chief Board. Shoulder boards by Senior Chief.
You have this day experienced that which comes to many of us who served as a Chief Petty Officer in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from the fraternity of the Chief's Mess in no way terminates your relationship. Our regards, our obligations to the service, and our fellow Chief Petty Officers. The respect that you earned as the Chief is based on the same attributes that will carry into your leadership role as a naval officer. Have no regrets. Review your commissioning orders not as an end to an era, but as orders to a new, challenging assignment. Remember well that you have been, and always will be, an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the United States Navy Chief Petty Officer. Mr. Garcia's family, wife, Miss Leoncia Garcia, daughter, Miss Angelica Rose Garcia, and father-in-law, Mr. Albert Corbin, will now place his Chief Warrant Officer's shoulder boards, officer's jacket, and cover.
The term Mustang is a relatively modern term, originating either prior to or during World War II. It is believed to be a sea service term, although other service officers are beginning to be described as Mustangs. It literally refers to Mustang horse, which is a wild animal and therefore not a thoroughbred. A Mustang, after being captured, can be tamed and saddle broken, but it is always a bit of wild streak and can periodically revert to its old ways unexpectedly, and therefore the owner needs to keep an eye on it at all times. By the same token, however, since a Mustang was formerly a wild and free animal, it may very well be smarter, more capable, and have a better survival instinct than thoroughbreds. The Mustang can take care of itself when things get tough, thriving on rough treatment, while the thoroughbred, having been pampered his whole life, cannot. You can easily see the parallel between horses and naval officers. The term Mustang is used in a complimentary sense most of the time.
Boyd Litzner will now issue the officer's oath. Attention to oath. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present Chief Warrant Officer Ricardo A. Garcia, United States Navy. Tradition that a silver dollar is given to the first enlisted sailor who salutes a newly commissioned officer. Warrant Officer Garcia will render his first salute to Aviation Electronics Technician, 2nd Class, James E. Nunn. Petty Officer Nunn, front and center. It is also tradition for a newly commissioned warrant officer to pass on his set of senior chief anchors to a first-class petty officer. Aviation Electrician's Mate Curtis E. Huff, Information Systems Technician Sean C. Morrison, front and center.
One day, you will wear these anchors. These anchors are durable. They last, and yes, your anchors will take a beating. Your shipmates will cry on them and bleed on them. It is you who will make things right because you will be the chief one day. These anchors have to shine a little more brightly than the other collar devices. Young sailors need to see them, for they must be able to find them quickly in times of duress and emergency. They must shine as beacons of leadership because when you're a chief, you lead. The crew follows. Where chiefs lead, the Navy excels. And where the chief fails, the Navy fails. These anchors, unlike any other U.S. military rank insignia, uniquely identify the wearer service USN. These anchors are passed down from generations of chiefs to generations of chiefs. The anchors that I wore today were given to me by a long since retired hero. But these anchors are not mine. I am holding them for perhaps a more able and more deserving leader who will in turn pass them until someday they will be worn by a chief petty officer, not yet born. I expect someday you will hold them for a while.
Warrant Garcia, you have the floor.
Good morning, Skipper. XO, Madam Brad, Warrant Officer Andrew. Family, Gerald, Mom, Dad, Nancy, baby girl, friends. I've been anticipating this day, I'd say about almost 10 months now. And on behalf of my family and I'd like to extend you wholeheartedly thank you for being here with us on this cold Florida morning. It's almost surreal to know that we're here now at what I call probably the second happiest place on earth, the Naval Aviation Museum, with my family and some of my closest friends in the whole wide world. You know, I look around and I can pretty much timeline my career and my life with the friends and family that I've had here for the last 22 years. So it's very comforting to me to just look out there and I can see my first LPO as a chief, one of my first division officers as a chief, and some of the guys I worked with alongside on ships. Phenomenal chief's mess. Skipper, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your reaping with you, sir. Mr. McGrath, Commander McGrath, thank you for your words. I want to extend a huge thank you to Mrs. McGrath, Jessica. Jessica sent me a note yesterday, and this is what she wrote. He is in Charlotte on a layover. He's happy to be coming and participating in a ceremony. Again, congratulations. You deserve it. War Party rocks. Please tell him to bring, and then the message ended. With that, sir. In any case, sir, I thank you for being here. I normally don't get words like that, especially from a Boston Red Sox fan. There used to be only two things I used to allow in my house. That's Boston Lager and Boston acoustic speakers. That doesn't apply anymore. I can't say that no more, sir. Thank you. And I do want to tell you, sir, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunities that allowed me to grow. And although I stumbled a few times, you believed in me and in your sailors. And those ideals that defined what we turned into this thing called the War Party. And the War Party did rock. Those are eternal memories that we'll always have. So thank you, sir. Well, as I look at all you guys right now, I can tell you, I'm still running through memory lane. If you look around this museum here, this is what my imagination looked like in my room when I was 6 years old. Honest to goodness, my brother will tell you. But every time I look around and look at all the aviation and all the history, particularly naval aviation, it inspires me. I feel truly blessed to be here. I can say that because I can pin out all these facets of my life. Well, some of you guys, like I mentioned, were a part of, and also leading up to why I stand here today. Grim Reaper Chiefs, as I cross this bridge in my life, I can tell you that it was an honor to walk by your side. For almost a decade, my mess showed me the virtues necessary to get it done. I know that the Chiefs men will always bring their A game because our sailors demand it, and our mission ceases without it. I will continue to expect those qualities because you hold the keys to our success. And because those qualities and virtues, you'll always remind me where I came from. Thanks, fellas. Two chiefs today kept me on my best foot all the time when they were LPOs, leading petty officers. They always inspired me to be a better person. They taught me some things I learned from them. And together, I think they were one of the biggest stockholders in this guy, this turned to chief, and they were there with me. One was in CNIU, one was in VFA 87. So at this time, I'd like to ask Chiefs Chris Sid and Chief Steve Roberts to come forward. I'll meet you downstairs. Master Secunda, Master Chief Corps, and you guys, it's an honor to work for you. You guys kept me in place. You guys told me what I needed to hear. You guys even told me plenty of things I didn't want to hear, but needed to hear. I really appreciate that. I think our mess, the fabric of our mess strengthens with you two. I appreciate how you guys combine as CMC, maintenance Master Chief, provide that element that keeps us together and that provides that intricate balance that we need to keep our mess successful, to keep us strong. But thank you. It's a privilege to call you my friend. Hey, Commander, look above, Warrant Officer 40, JC, Lieutenant Weaver, you guys, Lieutenant Commander Frugi, thank you for all you guys' advice and counsel. For a second there, when I used to pass emails to you, sir, I could have sworn you were an English teacher. So I appreciate the things that you taught me, and it was a great experience. And from the ward side, from the LDO side, the tidbits of mentorship that I've received in the last 10 months, and I've been receiving for years, you guys totally pretty much nailed it. I can't ever forget the things that you've done for me, and for putting this thing together. You guys totally were there for me, and my family and I totally appreciate that. CWO can't forget you. Appreciate you for being there for me as well. Grim Reapers. Hey, since I got here in England, we've all grown together. It has been truly an honor to serve with you guys. I hope that you learned from me half as much as what I learned from you. I will be reading about you as soon as you continue to set standards for this new aircraft. I look forward to reading the front pages what we got to say about what's going on with your new airplane. I had a couple of things to say about Mom, but she's in the air now, and I know she's here in spirit and in my heart, and so is my dad. But Nancy, Gerald, hey, I really appreciate you guys coming out here, bringing my nephew and my niece. In my prayers, I wanted to see these guys before I headed out. Taking a trip out here, I know it's no easy task, and I'm really grateful. And bro, let me tell you, we probably have a lot to do with the competitive nature that we had growing up, to maybe how I ended up here. So I appreciate that. I'm really proud of you, and bro, you inspire me. Baby girl, hey, thank you for teaching your daddy how to be a man. I love you unconditionally, and you inspire me to always keep moving forward. Every chance I get, and I think Skipper McGrath talked about it, I do celebrate all your talents to everyone, because I'm so proud of you. Your ability to make music with your hands is a true gift of God. Mrs. Sawyer, I appreciate you helping her out, honing her skills. It means a lot to us. Honey, you put up with me for 18 years. Not yet. You did it willingly. You endured all the rigors of being here for us. At home, while I was away. I can say that although it takes a strong man to serve in the military, it takes an even stronger woman to stand behind me. And you're that, and I appreciate it. Mom and Dad, thank you for putting her on this planet, because I know what I'd do without her today. You have done that, and I stand here today because of your support and your unconditional love for us and our family. I always say this to you, I know maybe you remember, but although we're still learning about each other even after 18 years, I know this, honey, you're my compass, and with your love, I'll always steer true. I love you. All right, in closing, with reference to the famous words of John Donne, I'd like to say that no man is an island. I would like to thank all of you who tried, forged, and tested me while continuing to transform me to the man of God, the husband, the parent, the uncle, son, friend, sailor, and the naval officer who I am today. Thank you all for coming, and God bless.
Now, Warrant Officer Garcia is going to present flowers. Chaplain Harris will now deliver the benediction.
Let us pray. Eternal God, as we leave this place, we pray that your grace will guide us and your hand will sustain us. And may we always seek to fulfill your purpose as we make plans for our life. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Harris. Newly commissioned officers have traditionally held wedding down parties. The origin of this breakfast ceremony consisted of newly promoted officers wearing their new rank involved getting tossed into the sea, hence the name. As traditions evolved, guests would then proceed to christen the uniform and officer with whatever liquid refreshment was available. These refreshments were always paid for by the victim. Today, you are all cordially invited to the Mustang Club directly after the ceremony. This concludes our ceremony. Participants at Color Guard, please stand by to take pictures. Guests, please come by and congratulate Senior Chief Garcia. Lay my last, Chief Warrant Officer.
Got it dressed up for the mark. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Next up. How you doing, sir? How's it going? Great. It's a cool place. I've never been here before.
If they come out early, have one of those here. And there's examples like that all throughout the
It's like a, he's like 27.
What, he got shot down there?
You got a paper mache zero.
Yeah, that's right. They had like water bomb.
Right.
Japanese hat.
I'll try to get with you somehow, whether just to get a copy of the single. What? Yes. Okay. Perfect. And have fun tonight. It's stay warm, right? Thank you.
I have a little one you can play.
Hey, Warrant Garcia.
About 200 or so.
You gonna take them out?
I don't think so. Got some other stuff to do today. It's 1 o'clock. I've been up since 6. I drove over here early to do food, pick up flowers, deliveries, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.